What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. For anybody new, I am Matt Luna, and we're talking about jerkbaits. Throwing jerkbaits requires the right gear to truly do it right. A lot of techniques you can get away with using a do-it-all rod and reel combo, but for jerkbaits, I really think having the right rod and the right reel, right line, right setup is vital, and it's going to help you catch more fish. It's going to give that jerkbait more action. It's going to get it down to depth. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you my jerkbait setup, the rod, the reel, the line, everything, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why I'm choosing those specific products. So in today's video, I'm specifically talking about hard jerkbaits, not your soft plastic jerkbaits or anything like that. I'm specifically talking about baits like the 6 Sense Provoke 106X or the Deep Diver or their slow sink hard jerkbaits with those treble hooks. In today's video, I have a lot of links and discount codes in the description, so make sure to check that out. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is the rod. I think the rod is probably one of the most critical parts of the jerkbait setup. I choose the 6 Sense Sensory Rod, 7'2". It's a medium action. This rod has a fast flex in the tip, helps me throw lighter baits with ease. This rod is truly an all-around rod that's specifically designed for a lot of techniques, but I think it really shines for the jerkbait. This rod's really sensitive, so when you have that bait all the way out in the water, you're giving it those jerks and you're letting it sit there and pausing, even the slightest little bite, you're going to be able to feel it, and that medium action is going to allow you to set that hook, not rip those hooks out. In the fight, that medium action is also going to keep those hooks pinned. It's not going to have a tendency to pull it out because that rod's too heavy, the tip's too stiff. The medium action really is critical. So the next thing I want to talk about is the reel. I think the reel is also important. I want a smaller, lighter reel because you're going to give it that jerk. You're going to want long casts. You're going to want a quality reel. I go with the Daiwa Tatula SV TW103. I really like this reel. It's a Tatula SV reel, which I have fallen in love with, but it's a smaller, more compact size reel. I like the 7.1 to 1 gear ratio. I think that's also really important. So I really like that 7:1 to 1 gear ratio because it's going to allow me to pick up that line a little bit faster than I could with my typical 6:3 to 1, 6:1 to 1 reaction bait reel. You have that line slacked sometimes when you're out fishing a jerkbait, and I want to be able to reel up that slack as fast as I can when I get a bite. I like being able to reel it while I'm possibly drifting in the wind towards the jerkbait, but I like being able to also have that speed and that 7:1 to 1 to kind of get that fish out away from cover because a lot of times I'm using light line with my jerkbaits. This Daiwa Tatula SV TW103 casts these light jerkbaits a mile. You want that thing to get out far away from you, out away from the bank, out away from the boat, because a lot of times these fish are finicky and you need to have those long casts in order to get as many bites as possible. So real quick, guys, I want to interrupt the video real quick to talk to you guys about the 6 Sense Super 6-Sack. This is 6 Sense's subscription bundle. You basically sign up for this and they send you baits to your house every single month. It is by far the best subscription sack out on the market. You're getting quality baits that are tailored for the right time of year. So you're getting baits that are relevant. A lot of times if you're getting soft plastics, you're getting the hooks to go with it. And I want to show you some of the baits that are in this month's sack. So that way, if you guys want to sign up, you can. I do have a discount code for your first month. You get $10 off your first month with my code LUNASUPER6. That's the code that you have to use for the Super 6-Sack. It's Luna Super 6. The first bait that we have is the 3.2-inch Divine Swim Bait in the Live Minnow. This color is awesome, mimics shad perfectly. It's going to be great for this time of year. It's going to be great on Alabama rigs. So the next bait in this month's sack is the Green Pumpkin Juice color in the 6 Sense Prawns. This is an awesome color. It's going to be great around clear water. Has a little bit of flake in it. I know a lot of you guys like to throw that green pumpkin with a blue flake, a purple flake, whatever flake, but this one is a standalone great color. It's got some blue, it's got some gold, and you can't go wrong with that green pumpkin. So the next bait in the sack is the Crush 100S. It's a silent square bill. This is a larger square bill in the bluegill fire color. Anytime they're eating bluegill, you can't go wrong with this color. Another bait that we have in the sack is the Curve 55 Finesse Square Bill in Rambo Red. Red is a great color this time of year, going all the way into basically the spawn, all the way through pre-spawn. Red is a staple color all over the country, and this bait right here is going to get bit. So the next bait we have in the sack is the Quake 70 in the Wild Lava Craw color. Lipless crankbaits shine all the way through the winter and into that pre-spawn time of year. And like I said, with that Rambo Red Finesse Square Bill, you cannot go wrong with that reddish orange color in this winter into pre-spawn. Anywhere where there's grass, you cannot go wrong with a lipless crankbait like this one. The next bait we have in the sack is the Hyper Jerk in the Methylate Flash. Another red color for this time of year. You cannot beat red, and this one will get them to bite when they are finicky and they still want something with a little bit of that action like a jerkbait. So the next bait we have in this month's sack is the 6 cents clout in the green pumpkin color. The 6 cents clout is the 6 cents stick bait. These things flat out get bit, and they give it to you in basically the best color that you can get, which is green pumpkin. This was a great sack in my opinion, tailored for this time of year perfectly. So if you guys are interested in signing up for this subscription sack from 6 cents, go to their website, click on the Super 6 sack, and sign up for it. Use my discount code LUNASUPER6. It's going to save you $10 off your first month. You will be happy with signing up for this subscription sack. So now getting back into our jerkbait setup, we're going to talk about the line. I use 10-pound test fluorocarbon most of the time. I like to use Seaguar Invisex or Sunline FC Sniper. So I really think a fluorocarbon is important because I think the fluorocarbon is going to help your bait get a little bit deeper in the water over monofilament and braid. Monofilament and braid float, so I really think that that's going to have a tendency to, one, not let your bait get down all the way, and it might have it come back up. Monofilament and braid, just not your go-to. I would definitely stick with the fluorocarbon. I also really think lighter line is key for jerkbaits. The lighter line, like I said, is going to help your bait get a little bit deeper, but it's also going to allow for the maximum action out of your bait. And a lot of times when you're fishing that jerkbait, you're jerking it and then you're letting it pause for a while. I think that lighter line is going to be less visible to the fish, and they might bite it a little bit more often than when you have heavier line. So I think sticking with your anything basically between 8 to 12 pound test I think is key, and that's why I like to stay around that 10-pound test with my jerkbaits. So moving away from the line and into the actual jerkbaits themselves, I use the 6 cents Provoke lineup of jerkbaits. They have your standard suspending jerkbait, the 106X, then they have a slow sink version, and they have a deep diving version as well if you want to fish that jerkbait a little bit deeper. Basically what you want to do with your jerkbait when choosing one is finding the bait that's going to reach the depth that you're trying to target. When you're fishing a jerkbait, those bass are going to be feeding up, so you don't need to get it down exactly where the fish are, but you need to get it pretty close because you want those fish to come up and grab that jerkbait. So you want to pick the jerkbait that's going to get to the depth that you need it to be. Most of the time when we're fishing jerkbaits, we're around clearer water. Sometimes you can fish it in a little bit dirtier water, but most of the time you're going to be fishing it around clear water. So color choice is key, and I really think that color choice is an important factor when fishing jerkbaits. My all-around favorite color is the Ghost Sexified Shad. I really think that picking the right color to match the hatch, to match the forage that you're trying to mimic is really important. So guys, product links and discount codes are down in the description of today's video, so make sure to check that out and take advantage of those codes. It also helps me out tremendously. Now, if something that I'm fishing doesn't fit into your budget, just make sure to pay attention to the gear ratio, the line size, the rod actions when you're buying the product for yourself that does fit into your budget. Those are the main takeaways from this video. Guys, I hope you learned something out of today's video, and I hope it helps you catch more fish out on the water, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya!